Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Music Den. I'm your host, Armando Venditti. Hoping you guys are having a good day and that you're looking after yourselves and one another. I want to welcome you all to a special segment of Live Album Spotlight. Before I begin and get into it, I want to give a special shout out and thank you to Warren Bunn. Warren appeared with me on a previous episode, and we discussed, it was a new music discovery album discussion episode on UFO and their 1977 release, Lights Out. We discussed the 2024 double disc reissue, which featured the album plus a live concert from UFO. Prior to and after the taping of the show, we were discussing albums to do possible future episodes about. And he mentioned this album to me. And I've known of this album for about 3 years, but I didn't pull the trigger because I didn't find it for a good price. Well, that's changed. And just again, I want to thank Warren for supporting me and recommending this album to me. And that album is this bad boy right here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have here the UFO Strangers in the Night 2028 CD Deluxe Box Set Edition. As you can see, it comes in a very strong, sturdy box. Okay. And just before I get into it, because there's a lot to get into with this album and this packaging, first I'm going to go through what's included in the set and then the track listing and etc. Just take a look at the color scheme on this packaging. Very colorful, very vibrant, very much in your face. And even if you weren't aware of who UFO were, or the album, I mean, having this sit on the shelf or a rack in the record store would definitely draw your attention. Okay. So this is the first box that it comes in. It comes double boxed, guys. So this is sec here. This is the second box that it comes in. All right. The CDs are housed in this box in individual sleeves. So there you go. Very vibrant, very much in your face. You have the UFO logo. There's the U on the front. You have the F on the side, on the spine of the box. Sorry, side, spine. And you have on the back here again the O for UFO. So again, very much, very vibrant, very colorful, and again, very much in your face. In terms of packaging, in terms of attention getting, it comes with a booklet, which talks about obviously about the tour and the various singles that the band has released over the years. This is a cover. It is a direct replica of the 1979 vinyl release. You have the UFO logo at the top, and you have the Strangers in the Night title running at a slant. Here is the here is a shot of the band, the classic lineup, or a lot of people would say this is the classic lineup featuring Michael Schenker on lead guitar. Okay, this is the back of the cover. Okay, um, again, there's a lot to go through here. The shows were recorded from October 13th to October 18th, 1978. They were recorded in cities Cleveland and Youngstown, Ohio, and also Chicago, Illinois, and Louisville, Kentucky. And although it is stated in various the information that I've I've read that it has been said that a majority of the shows were of the tracks taken from the show, sorry, were recorded in Chicago and Louisville, Kentucky. It has also been said that a number of the tracks were taken from the Youngstown and Cleveland, Ohio shows. Again, it is an 8 CD set. you have here, I'll show you, I'll go through it with you. You have here a replica again of the 1979 vinyl cover, album cover with the logo at the top and the title running on a slant. And I'm going to open this very carefully because the CDs do come running out. I don't know why they didn't put inner sleeves on the CDs. But here we go. Here you go again. There's the same shot of the band, from that lineup. And here you go again. This is the back of the cover. You see at the bottom corner there, the Chrysalis Records logo with the butterfly. And as you saw from the graphics I put up, the CDs have the labels on the CDs, sorry, have the 1978 Chrysalis Records logo. Here you have another sleeve that houses the uh, booklet, the information booklet. I don't know why they included that. They could have just put the booklet in separate. I don't understand that. Um, Again, here you have 6 complete shows. Okay, I will show you just one of the covers. Um, Before I show you uh, the 6 complete shows, all are housed in individual envelopes, and they have a replica of the reel-to-reel tape box. And on the front is a running a track sheet and a listing of the tracks on the for the concert. So here you go. Here's again, it's a replica of the um, a reel-to-reel track listing sheet. And I read something here very interesting. Um, of all 6 CDs of the complete shows, the first 5 tracks on all 6 discs are the same. So the first 5 tracks of these concerts are um, Hot and Ready, Pick It Up and Go, Cherry, Let It Roll, and Love to Love. Okay. Now the final commercial release has the tracks in a different running order. Okay. But all first 5 tracks of each show, of each 6 shows, have the same running order, but the rest are different. So I'm going to go through this with you again, the information on the album as I get my notes here. Now, the lineup of the band, again, people consider this to be the classic uh, lineup of UFO. You have Phil Mogg on vocals, Michael Schenker on lead guitar, uh, Paul Raymond on keyboards, rhythm guitar, and backing vocals, uh, Pete Way on bass, and Andy Parker on drums. Okay. Now, the information on the album. The album was produced by Ron Neverson, who also produced Obsession and Lights Out from 77 and 78. Upon release in 79, the album hit number 42 in the US charts and number 7 in the UK charts. Again, released through Chrysalis Records. There are 13 tracks on the final version of the album, the commercially released version of the album. There were tracks, sorry, that were omitted from the final release, and those tracks are "Hot and Ready," "Pack It Up and Go," "Cherry," and "Ain't No Baby." Okay. Um, Again, and the tracks on this album are taken from the albums "Phenomenon," "Force It," "Lights Out," and "Obsession." Okay. Now, when I've listened to this album, and again, I'm very new to UFO in terms of a band. I had a friend in Toronto named Michael Poole who introduced me to the Phenomenon album. I'd say about 2009, 2008. And they were very new to me. I didn't know who UFO were. I, really, I listened to the album. I was like, okay, Phenomenon's a cool album. It's a good rhythm. But I really didn't pay too much attention to the album overall. And you know what? They're a fantastic group. They are a fantastic group. Now, when I listened to this album, Strangers in the Night, the first word that comes to mind is, or phrase that comes to mind is high energy. And the second uh, description I would give this album is raw. Okay. This album is balls to the wall, no nonsense. Okay. Uh, Heavy rock live album. It is amazing. It is heavy. It is melodic. Um, it gets you right by the throat, grabs you by the throat, sorry, and it doesn't let go until the very end. Okay. The album starts off with, the band being introduced on stage, and from the first notes of the guitar, on Natural Thing, you are just basically, told just without being told to, or told to strap in and just enjoy the ride. And you don't know where you're going to end up. I've used this term before, but you don't know where you're going to end up, and you don't care. You just want to go for it. So the album starts off with Natural Thing. Like I said, the six full live shows that make up the final release. Um, Basically, the first five tracks are all the same, but for the commercial release, they, uh, rearrange the track order. So it starts off with Natural Thing, amazing, just great. Uh, Phil Monk's voice is in perfect, you know, perfect pitch. He's just running with it. And Michael Schenker's guitar, like, come on, like, amazing, amazing. Next up is Out in the Street, a really good rocking track. Um, Only You Can Rock Me comes next. And, again, they don't let up, you know, on this. They just keep going, going for it. And, again, just strap yourself in and just enjoy the ride. Next up is Doctor Doctor. Just to me, it sounds like the drum pattern is like a bit of a shuffle, right? Just amazing, fantastic track. Coming up next are two tracks that from um, the research I did, they're not live tracks. They're studio recordings with audience reaction put in after the fact in post-production. And those tracks are Mother Mary and This Kids, and they're both very, go for the throat, very emotional in some spots. And just great. Mother Mary for me is an emotional track. This kid is basically, I don't, and when I say basically, I don't mean in a bad way, but it is a go for the throat rocker. Okay. Left to Love ends off disc one. So you've got, just so you know, you've got seven tracks on disc one and six tracks on disc two. And as you saw from the graphics with the CDs, uh, the two disc album is separated as part one and part two, right? So Left to Love clocking in, I should say again, at 8 minutes and 2 seconds. Very atmospheric track, just beautiful. Um, the studio version's like 7 minutes and 50 some odd seconds. This in each track on these six concerts, they're all done differently, in different playing, different lengths and just, different energy on each performance, but killer nonetheless, right? So Left to Love ends off disc one. Um, Disc two starts off with Lights Out. I love Lights Out. I love Lights Out. I love the energy of the rhythm guitar, of the drums, the emotion and the raw um, urgency in Phil Mogg's voice. Just amazing. just amazing. And just so you know, Lights Out and the following track, Rock Bottom, make up side three of the original vinyl release. Okay. Uh, Lights Out clocks in at 5 minutes and 32 seconds. And at one point, he says instead of Lights Out in London, Phil Mogg yells out Lights Out in Chicago. So they're obviously playing in Chicago at this point, and the audience is just going crazy when they hear that, right? Up next is an extended version of Rock Bottom, 11 minutes and 7 seconds. Just fantastic, you know, just amazing. Can't use that word enough. Uh, After that is Too Hot to Handle from Lights Out, lead off track from Lights Out. Again, just in your face, heavy chords, unrelenting. I'm a Loser comes next at 4 minutes and 34 seconds. Let It Roll is another good track from the album. And the album ends off with Shoot Shoot. Now, the two singles that were released from the album at the time were Doctor Doctor and Shoot Shoot. Okay. Um, Again, 13 tracks, and whether or not you agree with the fact that, Mother Mary and this kid's, being a live or studio track with, audience a reaction put in, it's still fantastic. Okay. This album from top to bottom is just full of emotion, intensity, passion. There's a lot of passion in the performances on this album, especially from Phil Mogg and I'd say from Michael Schenker in terms of his solos, just great, just unrelenting. And it's a shame that there was a bit of a controversy because Michael Schenker left the band shortly after the tour, and he would not return to do overdubs in the studio to touch up some stuff, right? Because, I mean, it's very well to say you want to do an authentic live album with no overdubs and, very little touch up. But if what you hear back in the playback on the tapes is not up to standards to release as an album, obviously you're going to go in and touch it up and do something to enhance the sound. Um, excuse me. Michael Schenker has said in interviews that the takes that were chosen for these songs for this release were not, in his opinion, the best takes to use. So, and again, he would not return to do the overdubs for guitar, so they had to get Paul Chapman in to do the overdubs. But you know what? To me, again, it's still new to me as an album. I'm every time I hear it, I hear something different. Which you know what I think is good. I think it's good if you discover something new every time you hear something. You know what I mean? Like it keeps it exciting for the person. Well, me in particular. But um, I picked this album up in terms of price, I should say, for like 82 bucks. Okay. When I first was looking at it about 3 years ago, I should say, I was finding it for like $156. And it wasn't even from Amazon. It was it was through a secondary seller. I was not going to pay that much. I found this for like 79.99 on Amazon and I snapped it up. I got it on the Sunday. You know what I mean? So, you can get this on Amazon. You can get this on Discogs. You can get this on eBay. You can listen to the full deluxe package on YouTube. You can obviously listen to it before you buy it. Again, don't take my word for it. Listen to it before you buy it, and then make your decision. I've never come across as someone that knows everything there is to know about music. I try and be as knowledgeable as I can, but you know, you can't know everything. So again, don't take my word for it. Listen to it online. If you like it, pick it up. And if you do know of this album, and quite a few of you obviously do know of this album, please let me know down there in the comments below what you think of this album. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you think of the Michael Schenker lineup of UFO? So again, that's it for now. Coming up on the channel, I've got shows coming up with Bill Schuster. We were chatting earlier today via email. We're going to be finishing up our top five albums of the 1990s. We have years 1996 to 1999 to do. We are going to be doing our top 30 uh, top 30 prog tracks, plural, shows. That's going to be, again, 10 tracks per episode. So it's going to go across 3 episodes. Okay. And that's coming up. And yeah. And I'm also going to be doing a ranking the albums on alternative rock band and progressive metal band Tool. So they've got 5 albums, and I'm listening to the albums now, and I'm going to be doing my list. So please stay tuned for that. Again, please look after yourselves and one another. I am Armando Venditti signing off. Hopefully, you guys are having a great day. Again, look after yourselves and one another, and I'll see you soon with another video. Bye for now.